I waste my time with this question.
Yeah, we saw Oscar De La Hoya trying to say that the fight was going to take place maybe in the daytime.
Yeah, this is what I want from you, to say his name. I decide with Dana White to have a breakfast in MGM at 10 a.m. inshallah. Then we will go to the arena to have the fights quick, and after that we will go dinner to Carbon, and in the night we will watch Conjuring because it will launch in September. Oscar De La Hoya wastes my time with this question. Of course, this is in the peak. This is the boxing, the sport #1 in the world. This is Canelo and Crawford.
Kind of gonna be a mixed compilation video with Bud. I'm gonna talk about the De La Hoya situation. I'm gonna talk about the KO bonus, and I'm gonna talk about my stance on the fight. Right, so people get mad. Oh man, you say you pro-black, but you picking Canelo. I'm gonna address that. Or stand on hold. So when we look at this situation with he called out De La Hoya. I'll try to remember to clip it in there. I don't know if I will, but he called out De La Hoya. The reporter asked about the fight being at the daytime. He gave this drawn, long answer instead of just saying, what it was. Like, yeah, we're gonna eat breakfast, and then we're gonna eat lunch, and then we're gonna go to the fights, and then we're gonna eat dinner, and then we're gonna come back for the fights later. So he did all this. Just get to the fucking point. The fight is gonna be in prime time. You know what I'm saying? I'm probably a language barrier gap or whatever, or he probably won't call himself one to be detailed. So long story short, the fight is going to be in prime time. You know what I'm saying? So, they probably was going to do it that way in De La Hoya. They seen the reaction to the fans. So that's what it is. You know what I'm saying? So, cool. So we ain't got to really worry about that being early in the day. But, so, he addressed De La Hoya, and basically De La Hoya just seemed like a scoring X. Turkey did all that for him, and then for him to bite the hand that feeds you. And that's just how you get from a lot of people today, especially the way these women act. So yeah. I don't remember where I left off at. So, shit, I just had a phone call. Oh yeah, about De La Hoya. So, that's how you get it. A lot of times you feed people and they bite the hand that feeds you when you tell them no, or it don't go that way. So whatever, man, and maybe De La Hoya was some truth to what he said, and then they changed it up. Or maybe it was a bad rumor that De La Hoya had, but he addressed it, and he made the reporter say De La Hoya's name. He made him address the De La Hoya name, and he made him say De La Hoya name, and he basically said it wasn't true. So it's going to be in prime time. So we got that aspect of it. Now the KO bonus, I like that. That's Dana White's twist to it. I don't know if it's a KO bonus for the whole card. I guess it's just the main event. So now he's starting to incentivize guys through financial gain to get them to go and be aggressive and fight. Me personally, how about just say, hey, yo, if you ain't entertaining, I ain't fucking with you no more. Like, this the last bag you'll get from me. Maybe something like that. Like, it ain't no bag if you don't entertain, but at the end of the day, as a fighter, your main goal is to, your main goal is to win. Your main goal is to win. So, if you don't win, then you know how it is. Now, if you show that guys are in exciting fights and he's willing to bring them back to do more exciting fights, cool. With Fury, he has some good fights with Usyk, and he still want to work with Fury and make the Anthony Joshua fight. Joshua then lost over in the Saudis, then won with the Saudis. He still probably want to, make those type of fights. So I mean, shit. So just long as you entertaining, you can come get this money. And once he show that, maybe that might help. But a lot of these fighters have been bred, they've been groomed. To fight like Mayweather, the Bunny Mayweather thing, or they've been groomed to, you know, just privileged. So it's hard for them to really, you know, fight like they starving because they've been privileged. They just begin giving everything. They ain't really had the hard road on the up and up. So that's something else to think about. Other than that, you know, but yeah, let me address this. You know, people got, oh, you picking Canelo. Like, I don't like Canelo. But when I pick my fight picks, they're logical. The fight picks are logical. There's not based on if I like a fighter or not. You know what I mean? Fighters I pick that I really don't fucking like. You know what I'm saying? See, y'all address this shit. Y'all, not address. Y'all attack this shit like, you know, with emotions. Like, we talking logical picks. I'm not going to pick the Pacers over the Thunder because I don't like Shea Gillensley or I don't like Jalen Williams, which that's not the case. I think that because from my basketball IQ, I don't pick, like I said, I'm not picking Canelo because I like Canelo. I'm picking Canelo because it's logical. Once you look at it, y'all can hope and wish, and y'all, you know, y'all hoping and wishing that this, you know, this happened. I'm looking at it. First, he said he wanted to fight the man Terrence at a catch. Terrence wanted to fight him at a catchweight. Canelo said no. He said Bill Haney said that's his fight. He said I think he got on the horn with Andre Berto, and Berto talked him into taking the fight. Then you got to remember they said that he was talking to Bernie and motherfucking Bomac and say I can win this fight. You know what I'm saying? You know, I can win this fight and all this. To me, it's just a money grab. It's looked like a money grab, and I understand Terrence Crawford's character deserves the benefit of the doubt. But once you look at it, he had one fight at 54, and he looked strong and he punched. But then you talking about really, you know, he ain't even acclimated from 154 pounds. So then really you talking about going up to 168 pounds. Y'all can say, oh, he looked bigger than Canelo. What's about the fight weight? You know what I'm saying? Like your first time up there, you know, and I like Bomac said they got nutritionists, dietitians, they got everybody, strength and conditioning coach. They all in the gym. They all on the same page. Good. But what about the strength? What about like no acclimation? You just going to go get to it? You know what I'm saying? Carrying the weight. And they've been working at, you know, I just thought it's just too much, bro, in my opinion. And if he truly is special enough and he go in there, and if he make the distance, I feel like, and he don't run, you know, he make the distance, I feel like he won. No more victory. Like, you know, a guy really coming up 3 weight classes because he only had one fight at 54 and going the distance with you, that's really an indictment on Canelo Alvarez, not being who he say he is, right? So that's how I look at it. But, you know, a lot of those are bigger welterweights back in the day, like Thomas Hearns that went up to like cruiserweight or some shit like that at some point in his career. I think it was at the very tail end. You know, he went up to cruiserweight, bro. Like, he's a big guy to begin with. I seen him at Burlington Coat Factory. He old now, about a couple years, big guy. Sugar Ray Leonard was a big welterweight. You know, Felix Trinidad went up to what, 68 fought Roy, big welterweight. You know, that guy was a big welterweight. You know, so that my whole thing is based off boxing opinion. So even if I'm like, we have a panel or I have people call in, we talk about it, they're not going to be able to combat what I'm saying. They're going to fight with just raw emotion. Well, I just think Bud is just, he's going to win just because I just think he's going to win. There's no facts behind it. You know what I'm saying? Oh, he's just going to box and move and just, you know, Canelo was slow-footed versus William Skull, and people not going to talk about how tall William Skull is. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You talking about a guy that's been as high as light heavyweight, who's stocky, strong, durable. One of the best chins in the game. When he fight in Vegas, he up 4 points. 3 or 4 points before the fight started, asked Dimitri Bivol. So when you think about it, if you outbox him and you do it well, hey, Turkey don't want to see Tom and Jerry no more. Boxing is saying they're trying to breed out the athletic, elusive fighters in the sport of boxing. They're trying to breed out the athletic fighters in the sport of boxing. So if he stick and move and make it a stinker and do what Bozy Ellis said, is just stick, move, box, and clinch and all that shit. Oh, that was bar right there. You know, you tell me they ain't gonna take it from him? They're not gonna take the fight from him? So, like I said before, like when you got to think about it from a political standpoint, then you got to remember Turkey's still working with him for the next 2 years. He said at the platform. I thought it was just through next year's. I don't know, maybe count this year and next year, right? I don't know. So just think about from a boxing standpoint of view, Crawford got to be perfect. Amir Khan was outboxing Canelo Alvarez and it took one shot. Can Crawford take the body work? Can he take the physicality? Can, you know, just the natural bumping and grind? No, did he? The natural grind of a fight, hitting on the elbows, the shoulders. How's his body gonna feel at the weight? How's his legs gonna feel? He is 37 years old. Took a year off. Here, Bo Mac. Oh yeah, the rest was good for him, and get his. Yeah, they're gonna spin a house in their favor. To me, and I can be 100% wrong about this. It looks like a money grab. It smells like a money grab. It feels like a money grab. You know, and I'm just going to use my opinion and the logic looking at it. It's a money grab. If he got knocked out in the first punch in the first, it would not surprise me. You know, and Crawford seems like a man of high character. And like I said before, you can give y'all the benefit of the doubt that he won't go in there and be a Charlo. But I just don't see it, bro. I don't see it. But boy, if he win this fight, I mean, I think he's the modern day GOAT. He's the 21st century GOAT. I will go as far as that. Do I want him to win? Absolute fucking Canelo. I definitely, they drug testing and all that, I heard. So I didn't talk about that. They drug testing. Yeah, I want him to win, bro. I want that brother to win. But I'm speaking strictly from a boxing standpoint of view. So I'm going to break down the footage and I'm going to give a definitive prediction video at some point. And I'm going to do a video on the Patreon breaking down the footage. And I'm going to give it, and it may change. Sometimes I look at the footage and I'll be like, I got this wrong. I might switch the butt. I don't know. Once I turn on the footage to confirm or not to confirm what I think, then, you know, I'll be like, okay, this is why. But just thinking about the weight class, bro, it's not a street fight. This is a boxing match. So it's just my opinion on it, man. I know a lot of people may disagree, but hey, hit the link in the first link in the description, the link tree. Find me on X, Instagram, Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, Patreon, Detroit channel, Free Game 89 channel. Peace.